Finally, I just want to end with this. Now, there's been quite a bit in the press today and yesterday over the online safety bill, which continues to go through Parliament. And in one of the reports, I saw them highlighting a full fact tweet from 2022. And because they mentioned it in the report, I thought I would bring it back on screen here today because I thought it was quite interesting. This is full fact tweeting out that freedom of expression is at risk while lessons from pandemic are forgotten in the online safety bill. Too much power is being left with internet companies. Decisions about freedom of expression should be made openly and democratically. And I did find it a little ironic that Full Fact was worried about freedom of expression when they seem to be doing quite a lot to try to shut that down. But nonetheless, this was the graphic that went with that tweet from Will Moy, the chief executive. And he's saying, or he said at the time, "We know that people have died because of the misinformation surrounding COVID-19. And he went on to say, "We need a bill that protects all citizens online from harmful misinformation and threats to freedom of expression." So I'd just like to consider that for 1 second, because first of all, we know that people have died from because of the misinformation surrounding COVID-19. The question is that statement correct? I would suggest that yes, it is correct. If you consider that everything that came out of the mouths of the British government with respect to COVID-19 was misinformation. And that caused hospitals to panic, perhaps, putting people on ventilators that maybe didn't need to be, or throwing people out of hospitals and into care homes at an inappropriate moment. So I think there's no question that misinformation did cause the deaths of people around COVID-19. And then he said, "We need a bill that protects all citizens online from harmful misinformation and threats to freedom of expression." And I think that's true too, because as we know, most of the harmful misinformation that we witness these days comes from, at least in the UK, from the British government with respect to health, with respect to war, Ukraine, and so on. And maybe we want to think a little bit about that, about whose speech actually needs to be regulated. Is it the speech of the general public, or is it the speech of the British government and the mainstream press? We'll leave you to think about that. Now we got to end there. We'll be back in a few minutes with some extra. Kevork hopefully will stay with us, but certainly Vanessa and I will be there. We will see you then in a couple of minutes for that if you're a UK Call member. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you at 1 p.m. as usual on Monday. Bye-bye.